Hi, it is the human operating system time again. So today I'd like to share with you something which is extremely critical in today's meditations and the Qigong practice, which is in general 99.9% of people miss out. And this is serious, okay? So I get these inspirations to share with you is because a few weeks ago I was meeting with founder CEOs of big corporations, and it turns out that he loved to learn about meditations, Qigong, and Buddhism's this area of stuff. Okay, and he had met many people, top people in the Buddhisms, in meditation, so forth. So when we were discussing on the meditations, having the conversations and chatting, and I told him, all this thing you tell me doesn't work. So you expect that if you tell your CEO or any CEO or founder this thing doesn't work, they will question to the really details on what is going on. Okay? So he asked me, hey Hendrik, the entire world is practicing this way. Why do you say it doesn't work? So I asked him, I said, sir, you are a Buddhist, right? You go around the world, right? Have you seen any Arahant exist today? How about if Arahant is too advanced in level in Buddhism, how about the stream enterer, which is the first level of the fruits of in Buddhisms? He said no, he have never really seen people in that type of level. Okay, since this is straight talk, okay, get down to the business. So I say, if everything is teach according to what the Buddha teach, like the Anapanasati, the Vipassana, Satipatthana, all this stuff, don't we supposed to see some kinds of Arahant or the at least the stream enterer running around in this world? So why you go traveling around the world, why don't you see any one of this? And he told me, oh, maybe they are humble in hiding and so forth. I said, well, come on. What is to be humble about? If you are at that level, you have to say it, because you are your job to train people to get to that level, to get enlightenment, right? So I told him, I said, the reason why I tell you that this thing doesn't work is because there are three problems there in today's so-called Buddhist meditations or even Qigong. Three things, okay? The first thing is people love to debate on what. What is this? What is this sutta mean? What is this the Buddha said? What is all this? And then everybody have their 5 cents, okay? But you know what? Nobody investigate on how. So people are going to say, this is my way, okay? This is what I think, and all kind of stuff. But people do not really investigate on how is Buddha make it works? What is a dead track? If we keeping debate on philosophical, you think, I think, and then you add up this, add on this new age thinking, it is a mess. Okay, so that's number one. If we want to get result, we need to know how. I said, like in the engineering level, you are on top of the CEOs and the board of director level. I need to do the dirty job to find out how this thing works. While you guys up there can talk about this philosophy and everything, I need to get that thing works. I said. That's the same. And so it has to find out how. How is the ex-engineer, ex-pioneer in the company design this thing? Okay, instead of sitting down there, all the engineers and the CEOs and everybody talk about what is that pioneer design. What is that pioneer design is already there. What we need to find out is why, how. Then we can reproduce the product. Okay. The second thing is missing goals. People don't know what is this thing for. Okay. For example, today if we talk about Vipassana, people think it's retreat. Well, in fact, Vipassana is what? Vipassana is on top of Samatha. And one need to enter into quiet before one can get into this insight meditation or whatever heck. Okay? So, are you doing Samatha or Vipassana? Well, what is the goal there? Okay? And also, missing or jumping steps. Face it, we have this physical body, we have the mind, the breathing and the energy, the channel, the chakra, and all this layer by layers. If you jump from one to the other without knowing or addressing the issue, then you got a problem there. It's like you're jumping steps when you try to process an integrated circuits. Okay? Also, there are missing details. Like you do an integrated circuit, how many micron the width of this metal? In different area, you need to know properly. Otherwise, you get a problem. If this is a power path or it is a signal path, okay? So, I shared with him this, and he said, well, I like the way how you look at this thing. I said, I am an engineer, just a normal, ordinary engineer or architect. My job is to get this thing works. My job is not to be a guru, okay? So that's how, that's why I do this engineering approach into this Qigong or this meditation stuff, because don't we all want to make this work? So today, if you go to YouTube, the guided meditations, APPs, readings, books and everything, it get into what? Get into this, the instruction will be observe your thought, notice your breathing, see the thought as a cloud or balloons, pay attention to your breath, bring attention to your nose or different part of your body, following the sensations, or scan, feel your body from the leg to the head, or pay attention to your nostril, all this stuff. All this is trouble. Yes, it is trouble. This stuff means something. But if we do not know the goal, we missing the steps, we do not know the details handling, then it's trouble. Okay? That's why thing doesn't work. And it is funny. Really funny. This thing is knowingly it doesn't really work based on the law of cause and effect. Because the entire world is a causal system. But somebody still can pull some data from scientific studies, say, oh, this thing can improve or strengthen your immune system. We say, huh? What the heck are you talking about? You want to go scientific, go objective, go real scientific. Okay, like engineering. It is like an engineering. Okay, if your circuit do not follow the Kirchhoff law or Ohm's law, you look into that circuit and you say, how the hell you can get this data from your test? Your test. You will not get this data from your test. If you get this data from your test, maybe you test something different. Because this thing is not obey the Ohm's law or the Kirchhoff law. Okay, that's how it is. So in all this today's meditation and Qigong, okay, we know 99.999% of it is samatha based. Okay, samatha based. Samatha based. Samatha based meaning calm, calmness based, calm down based, to calm the body, to calm the mind, to calm the breathing, to calm the energy, the channel flow of the body so that it be able to flow, okay, but naturally. So it is the samatha base. Okay, now in samatha base, in Buddhism, in Buddhist Bodhidharma practice of meditations, samatha base, the number one bottom line basic will be going to the direction to enter into samadhi. Okay, so in Chinese it's called 入定, meaning that you proceed, you quiet down, you proceed into the directions of the samadhi. Ding is settle down, quiet down, calm down, samadhi. In Qigong, before you do anything in Qigong, one has to be 入静, enter into quiet. Okay, 入静, enter in the quiet. So enter in the quiet is enter into what, as people say, Qigong state. Qigong state. Okay, or Qigong Tai, as they call it in Chinese. So disregard of whatever it is, it has to go. This is the bottom line. Okay. If you look at, be it you call it Tai Chi or whatever so-called internal art, the proper one, they always start with standing in equal shoulder width of legs. Stand there for a while. That is about enter into the quiet. Okay. In today's word, it's called deep rest. I coined it as called deep rest. Okay, to get into deep rest. If one do not get into deep rest or the Qigong states or enter into the quiet, forget about it, because this is a samatha based type of meditation. Because in the entire world, you have only two types you classify as two types. One is samatha, the second is vipassana type or insight type. One is calm type, one is insight type, and then there are mix of them. Okay, that is how this thing can be classified clearly, you know, as I put in this book. Now, so number one thing is one need to enter into the quiet state. Okay, before what it is. Now, in the previous video, I always talk about this four core elements of the four layer: physical body, mind, and this breathing, and then this is the energy neuron, four layer. This is human model, where we can model with AI and just get Sophia, the AI robot, to learn it. Okay, train it. Okay, now I have mentioned this physical body many times in the previous video. Today I'm going to talk about mind. Okay? Mind. In mind, that is a very important or critical or the key concept. In Chinese is called Wu, Zhu, Wu, Wang. This is the key of handling the mind. Okay? This is the key of how to handle the mind. So what he said, do not help it and do not forget about it. Okay? Do not help it and do not forget about it. So in other words, in this mind, in mind we know there's a four function, there's thinking, there is imaginations, there is attention, there is awareness. Okay? One want to go to the awareness, however, one need to be in the state of not helping it and not forget about it. So, yes, there can be visualizations, there can be aware of this, attention of this, or observe of this, but they have to be able to handle the mind. Otherwise, you're going to create stress in your mind layer. And if you stress in your mind layer, there's no way you can get into the quiet. Okay? Say for example, the Anapanasati. Anapanasati, the counting breath, is about using the pulse. The pulse of breathing. You have this inhale, you have this exhale, and this is the pulse. And then you have the inhale again, this pulse. Anapanasati is the pairing the mind with this pulse and using this pulse to quiet down the physical body, mind, breathing, and the channel. Using that. Okay? So counting breath is not about counting, about thinking breath, about, oh, you know, I'm thinking breath and I pay attention to the sensations of my body, or, you know, my nostril. It's not that. It's just using this, you get into the quiet state and then see how far you can go. Okay? So that's the goal of Anapanasati. Anapanasati is not that play accounting. Okay? Or I count in 1,000, I count out 1,000. No, you're keeping counting. Your mind, have your mind quiet down? No. You're just keeping using it, manipulate it. Okay, while people over here, when you get into this, when you get into the samadhi, the thought, the imagination, rest. Yes, rest. Deep rest. It rests. Okay? It is synchronized with your posture. That's the state. Enter into samadhi. In Qigong, the same. When you get into that, it has to get into the quiet state, and on top of the quiet state, then there will be, if it's needed, the handling of the channel flow. But without the capability to get into the quiet state or deep rest state, or the directions of samadhi, forget about it. We don't have the basic to do whatever, or enter into the stream, arahant. We don't even have the most basic. We couldn't even handle this physical body, mind layer, breathing layer, and the energy neural layer. We cannot handle it the basic way. So how can you get anywhere? That is the same thing as what I tell this founder CEO. No BS, okay? Everything means money. Can they cash cash the idea in the with the bank? Okay? So that's the issue. And that's another issue. Okay? So this is the physical body. This is the mind. This is the breathing. This is the energy neural. Okay? So the first issue I'm talking about is what is the goal? And the goal is, we know that we want to get the quiet or deep rest. Okay? Deep rest. And that means one need to handle these 4 layers, and physical need to be handled before all this thing. If one sit in a really tense situations and not properly handle the physical body, you know, it's hopeless to go up there. And in the mind, I just share with you guys that on this not helping it and not forgetting it, so that you can rest your mind, rest your thought, let it decay away. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to create stress, and then it's going to influence everything. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing today have problem is in this energy neural layer. For example, teaching people to pay attention to this nostril or the navel area. In China, if you look at the big data for past 1,500 years or so, you know that pay attention to this area will cause what? Blood pressure to raise or stiffness in the head. So the guy who have a yin deficiency, as in the Chinese traditional Chinese medicines or Qigong, they will not let you to pay attention here or in this phase, because there's trouble. For female woman, because of the biological difference, woman is not supposed to pay attention to the lower abdomen. That create problem too. Okay? So this is a known stuff. Also, for people who have high blood pressure, one do not scan their body from leg to the head. Okay? So as I show it here in my books, the things, the flow of the channels, and the where it can be meditate, the focus on, or so forth. That is this thing. Okay? So if you're looking back, or you know, visualize this, aware of around you and all this kind of thing, the mind is not going to get into quiet, but the mind is keeping busy. You try to control things, or sensations, or this thing, or that thing, or visualize this, or visualize that. How is that going to get into quiet? How is that going to satisfy the goal? Okay, the second thing is all this, pay attention to your nostril, and then all this pay attention to your lower abdomen. You relax from scan from your toes to your head. This is not pay attention to the details, as I said. Okay. So first you have the goal. The second is you need to know the steps. The third is you need to know the details. Who can do that, who cannot do it? Because of we are different. Okay? So if we want to talk about channel, you know, energy channel, chakra, and all this thing, this is really basic. If this is not being taken care of, meaning one is like go to pharmacy and just prescribe drugs, you know, medicine drugs, as one like. Okay? So this is to share with you today, you know, If we want to make it work, if we want to make things work, let's do it properly. And here I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm pointing this thing out. The goal, the details, the process steps. One need to know this. Otherwise, how can you make things happen? And of course, it's as always, we all like to discuss or debate or argue on what. If today I said this is the stream enterer, then you can have 10 zillion people pops up to argue or to debate on what do I think stream enterer means. Okay. But that doesn't work because it doesn't bring things to the reality. And if we cannot have this thing work, how is this going to supposed to help us to to handle our stress, our anxiety, to heal our body? How to balance our life? How is that possible when all this, the goal is unknown, the step is jumping, and then the detail is not being looking into, and everybody is guru, everybody is going to be enlightenment? How is that going to even to fulfill or be able to deliver on the first basic human level? Okay, so this is to share with you today, and as I put to the founder CEO, okay, hey, technical is technical. Technical is not politics. I develop power management chips or energy management chips. 30-40 years ago, when I was in the company, my boss told me, this thing is going into an aeroplane. You better get this thing right, okay? Everybody, the entire team, because we do not want to sit on the plane. Or this chip is going to put into what? Into the airbag systems. Do you want your family to sit in an airbag system with your chips inside there which is not clean? Ask that thing. So it's not about who win, who lost. It's about everybody, public-minded. My bottom line, like with the CEO. Have you seen any arahat around, running around, or the stream enterer running around today? Since everybody like act like everybody is the Buddha. If you don't see that, that means there's a big problem there. Straighten it out or it vanish. That's bottom line. So this is to share with you today.